In section 5, we are trying to just understand the pattern of memorizing the stuff developmentally. So, for example, as children grow up, they learn to use the strategies better and better. For example, they actually learn to attend the central idea instead of just some irrelevant information. There are so many information in their head, but they actually learn to just adjust the information based on the question in front of them. Another strategy can be they learn to concentrate on the difficult tasks instead of the easy ones. For example, if you would just put different tasks in front of them, an average child, I'm not talking about a child who is behind or who is gifted. An average child would just go for difficult task first, then would just start on an easy task. I have another question for you, another recall task. Like you can see here, we have a bigger number of words. I want you to just, I'll give you 5 seconds, just memorize at least, I don't know, maybe all of them. So after 30 seconds, I would just ask you to name at least 12 of them, if no more. If you would be able to do that, my second question gonna be, what was your strategy? I believe that majority of you could not accomplish the previous task because honestly, it was just 5 seconds and it was hard to just memorize all of them or like 12 of them. So if you couldn't actually pass that task, there might be two reasons for that. Number one gonna be utilization deficiency, which means like the failure of a recently developed mnemonic strategy to facilitate recall. Okay, for example, previously you actually categorize different words. For example, food, animal, then you could just like do the task, like finish the task. But here you could not like pass the task because basically the number of vocabularies, it was like bigger than before. So it was, I mean, the reason could be like deficiency in your previous strategy, one of them. Another reason could be production deficiency, which means like the failure to generate a mnemonic strategy spontaneously. I would say it is so hard to just generate a new mnemonic strategy in just 5 seconds and seeing like that big words like in front of you. So probably production deficiency could be another reason for that. So that actually leads to the idea of children as early as 18 months to 24 months can memorize simple concepts. For example, we're gonna play with them hide and seek at that age. We're gonna do peekaboo at that age. So the idea of those games actually coming from their memory capacity because they have to actually find the cues and try their best to just find you. So one important concept here is younger children can only memorize one item, for example, just fish. Older children can do more. For example, they can do fish, bike, chair. And even older children can like use different strategy. They can actually do like both execute simple strategies and also generate new strategies. But still, it just depends on the criteria. For example, even in our age, we are not able to accomplish a task in just 5 seconds, right? So again, from situation to situation, it is different, but just keep that in mind. Older children, they can just execute simpler strategies, but they could be able to do newer strategies as well. Another concept here is children start with simple rehearsal task by age 7, then actually learn organization and finally elaboration. This idea is so important. Check the book and try your best to just relate this idea to Piaget. locate this idea with one of the Piaget's step and try to understand different sub-stages in Piaget and see when exactly it's gonna happen. Okay, but like one big cue is age 7. See when actually, I mean, at what stage children would be 7-year old and would be able to do simple rehearsal and organization and elaboration. I actually, again, copied this picture here. It is important. You can see the age here, but we can see some sort of overlap in which we can say that it's gonna happen by the end of pre-operational stage and concrete operational stage, or maybe even later, maybe like by age 9 for some children. So keep that in mind, check the book and try your best to just locate different strategies based on Piaget.